Hold up, folks. Technical difficulties. Technical difficulties. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Welcome to my first video of front loading because I got a taste of sleep and it's been beautiful. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels, and we're going back to that horrible world known as the JRC. But before we do, I have some bad news to break to you all who follow me for the JD community. Our beloved lady herself, Miss Jeannie, has passed away. I believe it was sometime last night. I want to take this moment, though I know her family has no idea who I am, nor do they probably watch this channel, to nonetheless extend out my condolence. And man, it was a little heartbreaking this morning. This woman followed me. She shared things, not just about JD, but she helped this community, the autistic community, try to get the word out about the JRC too. So I just wanted to take a moment. God rest her soul. And give her peace. All right, folks. So after that sad news, on to the disclaimers. All right. In the description box, you can find a link to the article that the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center doesn't want you to read. It is written by NeuroClastic, a small non-for-profit started by autistics for autistics, wherein they interviewed and surveyed over 900 ABA professionals regards to the Judge Rotenberg Center's quote-unquote behavior modification program. Matter of fact, JRC doesn't want you to read this article so much they have threatened NeuroClastic with a defamation lawsuit if they did not remove it from the website. NeuroClastic has refused, so you know drill. Please read that article and share on all your social media. We also have linked in NeuroClastic's public statement regards to the defamation lawsuit threat, as well as a link to their GoFundMe. We are crowdfunding folks in case the JRC actually has the balls to see through with their threat. We got the pertinent links to the Agape boarding school situation as well. Agape boarding school is a Christian-themed boarding school based out of Stockton, Missouri that takes in so-called troubled male teens that has, and pending folks, over 21 substantiated with hard evidence and corroborated by the investigations done by the Department of Social Services, allegations and claims that include sodomy, sexual assault and rape, child abuse, psychological and emotional abuse, child trafficking, starvation, and that's just for starters. We have one former staff member arrested by the FBI, another a former doctor who still's on the premises who is facing down multiple substantiated claims of sodomy, rape, and sexual assault on the students there, and staring down jail time. And let's see here. We've got Eric Schmidt, who in the last few days as Attorney General is too busy trying to grill Fauci over stupid bullshit, protecting your kids from drag queen story time, to be bothered with, actually protecting the kids in this state. You've got a governor who's so ate up on stupid and on a power trip high from hell that he doesn't even know that Agape exists, let alone the fucking rest of us. So please, folks, share all those links on all your social media. Don't forget to share and sign the Change.org Shut Agape Boarding School Down petition. We got the pertinent links to the Stop the Shocks campaign as well. Very pertinent because I've already read this paragraph, folks, and it's going to be blaming the advocates and being a condescending piece of shit appeal to authority we get to read through today that I'm going to take special joy into ripping into little shreds. So, yeah, just know. We've got Autistica massive archive on the subject, Jennifer Masemba's behavioral sheet over shockable and starvable offenses. The clip that is a small part of the 7-hour ordeal undergone by Andre McCollins in 2002. The templates in the ever-present self-explanatory change.org shut the Judge Rotenberg Center down petition. These folks who like to appeal to authority, they're special, aren't they? But kind of just like Miss Dr. Jessica Taylor. When you do some digging into people like Dr. Matthew Israel, you find out all kinds of crazy shit. So, just know, doctor, we got your number. We got receipts. What do you got? Your non-existent license that you can no longer use to practice? Just saying. Saying is all. Folks, when we discuss the JRC, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips of surveillance footage of people with disabilities being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please use your headphones, all right? This channel is marked not for children for a reason. We use profanity and we talk about dark subjects. If your child is 16 and younger, parental supervision is advised. Now, I'm already brain dead after reading this just condescending piece of bullshit that we are about to go over today. So, trigger warning, folks. We are about to descend into the mad ravings of the lunatic mind that is Dr. Matthew Israel. We're going to hear condescending appeals to authority. We're going to hear questions into our own fucking intelligence and what we see with our own eyeballs and our capacity to be able to understand what we're seeing and reading. We're going to have gaslighting, victim blaming, and the all ever pervasive, you just don't understand. You've never dealt with people this bad before. So, yeah. I kind of love being the living contradiction to everything that comes out of his mouth. It gives me joy. It really does. Because you can't turn around and tell me I don't understand when I've worked the damn field. Yeah. About that, doctor, right? Right. But anyways, it's 12:32, folks. It's been an emotional day since this morning. If I stumble over my words or rant, apologies in advance, all right? All right, so not tea this morning. This is my after I kick my own ass juice, so be aware. Okay. Anti-adversive advocates are often well-intentioned. See what I mean? This is the condescending shit that they do to us advocates all the damn time. But they mean well, but they're really stupid and have no idea what they're talking about. They're not doctors and blah, 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 blah. I work the field, doctor. Do me a favor and don't insult my intelligence or my fucking expertise. Okay? They believe that in advocating against adversives, they are, in some sense, fighting to help children with disabilities, to even liberate them from onerous, misguided treatment. Dude, we don't call it treatment, we call it what it is. It's torture. When someone is fucking helpless, tied to a board, face down with a helmet on, and shocked over 31 times while screaming for their life, that's not treatment, that's torture. Okay? Please stop the bullshit. Because if this was prevalent, if this was actually an efficient treatment, it would be used at programs all over the United States. You would sit there, but it isn't because ethics. Maybe we should think about that, shouldn't we, doctor? If you got doctors on your same level of education telling you this is at fucking minimum, unethical? You think maybe? Just maybe we should think about that? Maybe? You know? Typically, those who advocate against adversives are not parents of children who have very severe disorders that threaten to maim or kill children themselves or others. Here the fuck we go again. Do you know how often I hear this bullshit? But you're not a parent. You don't understand. You want to know who understands more than parents ever will? The people who have the fucking diagnosis. Parents don't actually understand. I say this coming from a parent who's been in medical circles for over 40 fucking years. Parents do not understand, doctor, and you want to know why? Because they don't have the diagnosis. And the parents that I have worked with have been willing to acknowledge that fact. Crazy, right? If you do not have the diagnosis, you do not have a full understanding, and you never fucking will. Okay? Please stop with the bullshit. But the severe behaviors disorders, you think we haven't engaged in those very behaviors, doctor? Come on now. Come on. Let's step out of our little fantasy world. Let's deal in reality here. No matter how so-called high functioning, which is bullshit by the way, but that's its own subject, a person appears, I can tell you with my whole chest that every single last goddamn one of us has had these behaviors. We have self-harm. We have unintentionally injured ourselves during meltdown. We've done everything that you've described, just about, doctor. Maybe not to the same extent as others. And by the way, that's not true across the board for all so-called high functioning of us. Some of us engage in some severely dangerous, fucked up shit when it comes to self-harm, okay? I'd like to point to myself as case in point motherfucking example, alright? You see, I don't have to have parents who's had severe kids with problems. Because I was the child who then lived with another child who had more severe issues when it came to behaviors than me, and I was their fucking outlet and target. Do not tell me, doctor, that I do not understand. I've lived it and lived with it all at once. Not to mention, I've worked in the field, doctor. I covered 25% of my state as consumers. Do you have any idea how big of a state Missouri is? 25% is a massive number. We're talking a caseload that was into, granted single digit, but into the millions. Okay? You're going to sit there and tell me with my whole chest that none of those consumers that I dealt with on a daily fucking basis were as severe as the people in your school? Doctor, come on now. Come on. Really? You appeal to authority and then you give me faulty math. I fucking suck at math. Math is the bane of my goddamn existence, and the math still doesn't work. If I can tell your math is fucked You need to be thinking about some life choices. I don't know what to tell you there. If even I can tell you your math is fucked, just maybe stop trying to use numbers to defend your insanity. But yeah, we're not the parents of the children with severe. No, I'm not a parent of one of those kids. I was that fucking kid. I lived with another fucking kid like it. You want to sit there and tell me my mom doesn't understand? She had two of us in her fucking household. One with severe mental health issues that utilized me as their abusive target. Another one who was going through horrific abuse who kept her silence because that's what disabled people are taught to do. Just shut up, sit down, be good little disabled, and just don't talk. Yeah, thanks for the extra dose of self-loving, public schools. God, these people are exhausting. Nevertheless, they feel impelled to insist their perception of aversives is the only correct one, and that all parents, even those children who have self-maiming or potentially self-killing behaviors, should be deprived of the option to choose aversive therapy for their own children. Such high-handed bullshit, doctor. I want parents to not torture their children. How horrible of me. How horrible for me that I don't want parents to have access to be able to allow the state to torture their fucking kids until they're screaming for mercy. Doctor, you're aware that there's videotape out there, right? Right? Please spare me the bullshit and please spare me the fucking guilt trip because it's not gonna work on someone who has seen the evidence. But you're depriving them of treatment that helps their children. How's it fucking helping them, doctor? Adding more psychological trauma on top of the issues they're already having? Causing them such severe PTSD, it takes fucking years of therapy just to get to the point where they can begin to function, to the point where they can at least be in a halfway house. How are you helping them when your school's not even accredited to get them so much as a GED? How's it helping them when you're not actually giving them job skills that would work anywhere outside a fucking workshop? You know those places that pay disabled people's pennies on the fucking dollar? Yeah, I know about that, doctor. I know a lot about that. How people get away on the slave labor on people with disabilities, preying upon them, paying them pennies a day, and it's legal under federal. I know all about that shit. But it's a bright future, right? To live the rest of our lives in fucking borderline poverty. Great! Doctor. As one professional to another, you take a lot of liberties. You like to believe that you are the only human being in all the world that has ever dealt with children this bad evers. And that your way is the only way. And you dismiss all the other ways, even though you don't even actually know what they are or how they function or how to implement them. It is gross stupidity. And to sit there and try to use your degree, which has been fucking yanked, I might add, your license, which has been yanked, as a means to try to get us to just believe, bruh. Just believe. Dude, you're a fucking joke. Your appeals to authority do not work when it is confronted by evidence. You mean well, but you're really actually stupid and you don't know what's happening. You don't know how to help these kids. Funny. Because I actually have, doctor. I have worked with these kids who have been this severe. I have indeed looked through pages and pages and motherfucking pages of different programs and plans to implement until we found one that actually worked specifically for that particular consumer and the issues that they were having. It's called person-centered planning. It's called basing treatment on the individual, not the diagnosis, because there is no such thing as one-size-fits-all treatment. And you know what, doctor? I had a lot of success, as did the caseworkers, the managers, the doctors, the psychologists, and the psychiatrists, the teachers, and the parents who helped build that person a circle of support. It's amazing what you can do when you take your head out of your own ass and quit, breaking your arm off, self-congratulating yourself on a degree that doesn't mean jack shit when met with real life experience.
But dear, individualized treatment takes actual work and time and putting in thought to stuff, and that's just too hard.
Right? There is no cure, folks. There's only minimizing symptoms. And Mr. Typel back there can tell you because he had to go through it. Spoons, folks. Spoons. But anyways, you see my point, right? This doctor wants to use our disabilities as a means to lull you into the idea that we have no idea what we're talking about, so that you'll dismiss whatever hard evidence we put in front of your face because we're just disabled and we just don't understand. It doesn't really work when you've got someone talking to you about this sitting in front of you who's worked in the damn field. Does it? Nah, it doesn't. He also doesn't mention all the fucking doctors, the psychiatrists, the caseworkers, the social workers, ARC, Easter SEALs, NAMI, all the people from all different fields who've come up against his ass, either on equal footing. In fact, with master's degrees and doctorates actually more suited to the type of work he claims that he's a master at. Funny, isn't it? This is why appeals to authority and trying to tell people like me we don't know what we're talking about and we're too stupid to know what's good for us is a bad idea. Because when you are faced with someone like me who's worked in the actual field as well as having the diagnosis, it doesn't work, does it? No, it doesn't. I'm going to close out on that and get ready for the next video. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few that we do tend to get removed from time to time. So please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate your time. And as always, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one.